Hi, Bella and I just finished our very last setup masterclass. We concluded with Capricorn. Capricorn season is going to begin within the next couple of days. So if you still haven't gotten the Capricorn setup, it's still available for you to purchase, and you will have it going into the new year because Capricorn ends 2023 and begins 2024. So we wanted to come in to celebrate our huge accomplishment of taking on the Zodiacs this year. We finally brought in astrology in this practical way because we're about human design and gene keys. We bridge the gap. So, Bella, did you want to bring in some of our inspiration this year with astrology and all that?
Yeah, so we've always been walking the wheel, the Rave Mandala, and going through the gates. And that's what we do now for everyone. Every Tuesday, we come in, we see where's the sun, and the sun goes through the 64 gates in 1 year. And we speak about that in the language of Gene Keys and human design. And then we started to bring in much more astrology. And we wanted to find a way of also make it tangible and practical for everybody else that wants to also start to understand astrology combined with human design and gene keys. And this year, what we have done is to every month we go through the sign that is in that part of the wheel, and then also we bring in the ruler of that sign in terms of the planet. So in 12 months, we went through the 9 big planets plus Chiron and also the 12 signs. And that is in those portions of 12 setup masterclasses. And the cool thing that's going to happen next year is that comes into the inner circle. So Unlock Your Design, officially what we're doing is walking the wheel, which is the zodiac signs in the astrological wheel, and it's the I Ching wheel, which is the Eastern way of seeing it. And they always go together. So wherever you look in the wheel, you're going to have a gate and you're going to have a sign, and there's going to be a ruling planet over that. So that's our weave, and that's what we have accomplished. And in this kind of Capricorn energy too, I feel like sometimes we also forget to celebrate, but I think this is the basics of everything that's been done this year. And what's coming in 2024 is walking the wheel with all the archetypes and all the signs and everything together. And that's what we're doing in the inner circles. It's a kind of launch of how we are doing things in the inner circle and how to become fluent in 3 languages that actually really go together. And that you and I have spoken those languages before, but how can other people be fluent in the languages and not confused because we are speaking about gate 11 or gate 10 in Sagittarius on the cusp of Capricorn? What the heck does that mean? Well, now hopefully we'll find a way that is practical and quite concise to understand how to see those 2 perspectives together.
Yeah. And we just started to bring through a process of deconditioning in the inner circle. And so we're continuing that next year. And so with each of the transits, right? Bella spoke about the Rave Mandala, the wheel, where whenever you see that, oh, the sun right now is in gate 10, that means the sun is activating gate 10, right? It's in gate 10. And so we're going to move through all 64 gates. So the sun is going to touch and hit every single gate. So sun will be in 15, sun will be in 12, sun will be in 26, sun is going to be in all of them. And so our process has been to walk the wheel. And Bella and I started this process when we started to bring through the archetypes, because it's a very quick process. It's like 5-6 days when an archetype changes. So we've been walking this process for years now. 2020 was when we brought through the archetypes. So this is going on, right, our 4th year of doing that. And so along the way, we first started with bridging gene keys and human design. Then we brought in astrology. So this past year, the focus was on the teaching on the content, like Bella had mentioned. So when you come into the inner circle, this is where we're going to have astrology, gene keys, and human design. Now the inner circle members get all of the archetype courses. So whatever archetypes are active during that zodiac season. So as we're in Capricorn, all the Capricorn gates are active in the inner circle portal. So you get all of those deep dive courses that are $55 a piece with your inner circle subscription membership, which is only $64 a month. And each of those courses are $55. So if you do the math, it's a really good value to go into the inner circle, get that. Now, on top of that, we're giving you the setup. Why are we doing this? Because we already went through all of the information, all of the intellect, all of the knowledge, all of the content. Now it's just about deepening. So you're going to have all of the teaching material. You're going to have all of that foundational material. And on top of that, we're going to have opportunities for you to work with these archetypes and to get clarifications around that zodiac season. So Belle and I are going to be coming into the inner circle to either bring in workshops or to bring in Q&As or chart examples. And there's always going to be a community for you to be able to, like a Facebook community for you to do stuff in. So within our process in the inner circle, we have 5 different components of it. The first is the foundations, which I mentioned are all the courses you get access to, plus the vault. Did you want to talk about the vault before we move on to the other ones? These are the foundational things. So the vault
the vault is a living library, and it's right now over 150 videos, and that's masterclasses and courses that we've done before, some of the more advanced teachings, but it's maybe just like a piece of that so that you get a little bit more of just a taste of what you could go deeper into. But it's really the foundations of all these 3 systems: human design, gene keys, and astrology. So you're going to have things that you can go through. I don't know how many hours, but 150 videos, it's many hours. So that's something that you can, in your own pace, it's all evergreen, go into and yeah, there's so much in there.
Yeah, there's a lot. So that vault subscription is included in the inner circle membership. The vault subscription can be purchased individually. Right now it's $199 because we're doing a holiday special. So if you just want the content, if you just want to get into the information and the foundations, that is a good way to start. So for now, the holiday special gives you access to that for a year subscription. So we have the foundations as one thing. The second thing is the dialogue, which is where we host the walk in the wheel calls. As an inner circle member, you get the replays. So even if you can't go, you get to do the visualizations or the exercises, or get put an ear in on the discussion that happens during those transit calls. You're also going to get the archetype workshop. So that's something that's very new. It's going to be like a workshop, a play shop to help you integrate and embody these archetypes that are in transit. And you'll also get the support, which includes the Q&A. We're going to keep it focused on the astrological season. We're going to bring up charts so that we can interpret them, so that we can show you what it means when this is here and this is here. And like I said, you also get community. So there's 5 different components of walking the wheel together. And hopefully this is a very holistic way of approaching this, so that you get kind of all of the pieces met. You get a community, you get the intellect, you get to share and brainstorm, you get to actually practice it for the embodiment. So we're bringing in all these different aspects so that as you are going through these zodiac seasons with us in 2024, you're actually having the potential to really integrate them deeper. Instead of it just being at an intellectual level, we're going to go deeper than that. And obviously, we're also going to bring in immersions, and immersions are kind of the bread and butter of all of our offerings at Unlock Your Design, so that you have the opportunity to dive deeper into, like, you know, the activation sequence, or the Venus sequence, or Sovereign, which is basically our Business by Design series. So we're going to have a lot of things available for you. And the inner circle is just a way to stay in our universe and have a finger on the pulse as we are going around the year.
Yeah, and there are some crazy points in 2024. I was looking at April 20th, yesterday, where you have Jupiter and Uranus conjuncting, and you know, Uranus energy is already unexpected and explosive and quantum leaps, and then you have Jupiter, which is all about expansion on top of it. This is happening in gate 23, and that's same day you're going to have 4 different activations in gate 51, which is crazy because that's the gate of thunder.
Oh God.
And so I was looking at that chart yesterday, and I'm like, this is something that if we are in a community, if we're in the inner circle together, we need to prepare. It's a Saturday. I'm like, okay, it's a Saturday. So at least, I don't know, it's not like I can be safe, because it's happening on top of my Chiron, exactly on the line in the gate. And then the 51, I know many of us in our community have the 51 and have 4 things in the 51 at the same time. And also looking at the body graph for that day, the only channel that is defined is the channel of initiation, 2551.
Yeah.
So these are the kinds of things that we can kind of geek away on in the inner circle as well. As we're following the transits, the sun is the guiding star that says, okay, this is how we are going through the wheel. But in also, as we are in there, there are going to be full moons and new moons, and some of these days that, of
Mhm.
course, as we are in the inner circle, we also get to support each other and to be inspired and activated by those events that happen on the sky, and then has kind of reflection repercussions in our own lives and in our communities.
Yeah. Well, anyways, this is a monumentous day for us. We are finally done with all of the teachings for 2023 for Bella and myself. And the direction of Unlock Your Design is going to change for us in terms of what we're creating, because before it used to be very much on the teaching and the master classes. And now that we have all of that foundation, we're able to offer that stuff to you freely, easily, because it's not something that we're putting all of our current live time and energy on. Now we get to put our current live energy on things like embodiment and things like creative inquiry and things like building relationships within communities. So it's going to be a completely different year for us. And it just feels like we're finally getting to simplification at the end of 2023 for us, because there's a lot less on our plates in terms of like creating content and stuff like that. Now it's about walking inside of the content and being immersed in it and having journeys with it instead of it being the main focus. So that's something that we want to like celebrate. And we have a lot of Capricorn in both me and Bella. So it's a little bit difficult to celebrate sometimes because we're such high achievers and work oriented. And even now we're like, join the inner circle. It's still kind of business focused. Celebrate and join the inner circle with us, like walk a different way with us. But I mean, what can you do? I'm a Capricorn rising and she's a North Node Capricorn or South Node Capricorn. So this is what we do.
And also another thing, because Capricorn is kind of conservative with money or good at long-term planning. So if you want to get any of our archetype courses or that vault that we said 150 videos, we do have holiday specials where all the archetype courses are 40% off. We'll put that under this post. And also the vault could be if you're alone over Christmas and New Year's and the holidays, if you want to be accompanied by us and going off of tangents in different human design and gene key things, well, then you have many hours of company in the vault if that's something that you're interested in.
Yeah. And I wish you well in this holiday season. I know that some of you will be celebrating Christmas and the New Year's is fast approaching. I can't even believe that we are done with 2023. It just seems like everything happens in the blink of an eye. So I hope that you take this time to integrate, to look back on what this year has brought you, have a little bit of celebration, pop open some bubbly or some apple cider or sparkling apple cider and allow yourself to celebrate. And I know it's a little bit tough in Capricorn season, but I mean, it's the holidays. So let's bring a little bit of joy and cheer into our lives and prepare for what's to come in 2024, even if it will have a little bit of shocks incorporated in it. Hopefully they're simple shocks. If we've got the 23, I really hope that they're simple, that they're like not complicated. Like, oh, okay, thank you. Epiphany. I get it. All right, we're shocking into this alignment. I get it. Many little tiny shocks. Shock. All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.